You know what, people? I enjoyed myself in London, and everybody else who was there enjoyed themselves. I couldn't stay there the whole day, but I still enjoyed myself. But of course, you know, a gathering of like-minded individuals, or rather, not so like-minded, because not everybody agrees with everything there, but the point is they were there to have fun, meeting their heroes and friends for the first time, or second time, third time. It was just a nice meet-up. It was to have a merry old time, essentially. But of course, I should have known that as soon as footage and photos were going to be released, idiots and spin doctors were going to be using this for their own agenda. I should have known that these people, like Wooly Bumblebee and David Sherratt, were going to be pulling this bullshit against us, because we can't have basic fun, can we? Kekistanis can't gather in a park and express their nationality without normies being racist against us. But in all seriousness, ignoring the meme, this is all about politics. These people don't like Sargon, they don't like V, they don't like Uzulu, and they don't like me. And they don't like anybody who agrees with even the littlest thing with that they believe in, and it's just tribalism. These people are just trying to score political points. Now, full context, the meetup happened, and one very eccentric person, as Uzulu said in his video response, is decided, you know what, for fun, I'm going to go into the children's playground, which he can do because it's a public place. Jubilee Gardens is a massive park next to the London Eye where you can, you know, within the boundaries of the law, do what you want. You can even drink. And he just went up there, put the flag up, and people were cheering him and shouting the memes at him, at the flag. Not at the people. But hey, you know what? Let's just see what Wooly Bumblebee has to say about this, shall we? V and his pals invaded a children's playground in London. Invaded. Look at the language that she's using already, and as you'll see in the footage, well, you'll see soon enough. This was the guy that started the whole thing on Twitter, as far as I know. He was the one who decided to start the spin-off, and then the Woolly Bumblebee, who, as we all know, is not doing this because ideologically she's opposed to us, but because, well, this is attention. This is the community she's now part of busing, and, well, obviously this is what you have to do when you're an SJW. Right, Wooly, this is what you do. You actually got it down to a T. Well done. And now look, you see, they're saying, shouting at the kids saying normies out, but they weren't. Look at who they're filming at, look at who they're looking at. Look at everybody. Who are they looking at? They're not looking at the kids, they're looking upwards towards the jungle gym, shouting normies out at the flag, because that's what you do. But of course, when you're in a public place and there's kids there and you're saying these things, it's easy to spin this as, oh, they're shouting at the kids, when they're not. And where are the people in the footage and even the photo there complaining to the guy in the blue shirt, who, by the way, was part of the meetup, or even the guy with the flag, that this isn't right, this is silly, stop shouting at us? They didn't. And in fact, when I got back after this had happened, nobody was mentioning that anybody was complaining about them, because Uzulu would have found out and he would have mentioned that in his video, but he didn't. So yeah, totally not doing this for any other reason other than we need to propagandize against these people. Again, as I've already mentioned, and as you'll soon see in the footage, they weren't doing it at the kids. They're looking directly up towards the flag and saying it to the shitlord. Look, they're saying it's V because he was in the camera shot. That's all they're saying. They've got no actual proof that V organised it, because they weren't there. None of them turned up. None of the Skeptic plus lot, none of the SJWs turned up to say anything of the sort, to show us any of the shot of this sort. Like, V didn't do this. He literally walks off. He's seeing it happen, but they have no idea whether or not he actually ordered it, and I don't think he did. This guy did it on his own accord, and he can do that. It's a public place. What are they going to do? Look, see, they're joking and saying, look, he's confusing the parents. But they're not shouting it at the parents, they're shouting at him. They're looking directly at the guy with the flag. Not the kids or the parents. Everybody's looking at him. And do you not think somebody would have gone up to them and say, hey, can you cut that out? That there were police there. Get out of my stream, normies. Like, what? Why would you say that to a group of people in a park? No, you're saying it to the guy with the flag because it's the meme. They're doing it for the meme. And they know this. The SJWs know this. This isn't about the truth. This is about saying, look at these horrible people attacking these innocent bystanders. Look how horrible they are compared to us. Well, I'm sorry, but they're not. Look at the eyes. Look at where they're looking at. Look at what Discordia is using with her angle. They're not looking at the people, they're looking at the flag. The flag is in focus. Like, how is this harassment? How is saying normies out harassment in a public place when they're not even saying it at these kids? Even if they did, is it harassment? Or is it just weirdos? Nobody's bothered. Look at the body language of people in the playground. They're just completely confused about what this flag is and what he's doing, but other than that, they're not feeling unsafe. They're kind of curious. And Woolly Bumblebee thinks that this is good spin. That she thinks this is a gotcha. Seriously. Oh my god, look guys. What kind of losers do this shit? People having fun. People who are just having a good time. And they weren't harassing anybody. The only thing she got right is that one person was in a London playground. 2 people, sorry, were in a London playground. But anyway, you know what? It doesn't just end there. And for some reason they put Exhibit A above V's face, even though V had nothing to do with it. So anyway, it doesn't just end at Woolly Bumblebee, because David Sherratt, the MGTOW in the streets, the cook in the sheets, decided to weigh in on this. Because Lord knows we need this guy to just ruin everything, don't we? And this is in response to Mr. Whiskey, who I did meet there. He was there, I can confirm. And he says, and this is in response to Whiskey, who before that says to Spino, when alternate facts comments under Woolly Bumblebee's incredibly honest video, I know how lonely it must feel being intolerable people. David Sherratt says, grown men screaming at kids on the playground is not an appropriate way to behave in public. And then Whiskey says, I was there. I thought it was cringy at best. The fact is there were police around making sure things were okay, and we talked to them. I indeed did talk to some of the police, and believe me, the woman's face when I tried to explain the origins of Keck was priceless. She just didn't get it. Alright? They knew nothing was going on. They were just checking, and they do this to everybody in big places like this, and they were nice. They knew we weren't doing anything, and they moved on with their patrol. They didn't even say that they had complaints. They were just checking a large group of people. That's all. That's what the police do. And then in this comment thread further, Whiskey says, I don't understand why you feel the need to just twist the story for the sole purpose of one-upping a bunch of internet shitlords. And then David Sherratt says, you're not contradicting what I said. And then Whiskey says, not in your comment, no. I'm addressing the overall attempt to spin the story into anything other than what it was. And then after that, obviously he goes, you were there, awesome. You really showed it to those cultural marxists. Actually, they'll be idiots, or kids, which is not the point. The point was have fun. They were messing around, and the kids were not harmed. The parents were not harmed in any way. We were there to have fun. It wasn't really about politics. It was a meet-up. David, you'd have got that a year ago. But now you're this sad, lonely, depressed cook in the sheets who, for whatever reason, has had this ideological change, and now nobody can have fun unless it is stamped with your approval, obviously, right? I mean, look at this. This is a priceless thread. Mr. Whiskey then goes on to say, of course, yes, that's exactly what we were doing. How silly of me for not saying any of those words. If you're going to criticise these people and myself for being outward and loud and probably enjoying themselves, go ahead. And then some guy called Raymaker says, we wanted to show them up close, face to face, that we disagree with their position. Right, that's not even funny. And then Flares UK says, it was more about having a get together, meeting content creators and doing a little networking, have a good time, not sticking it to SJWs. I said that. That's exactly what it was. And look, the icing on the cake for this is just beautiful. Feminism is for nobody. Fiffin, of all people, is saying he went there to meet friends. Why are you in a constant state of being a cunt? Oh, David, give it up, mate. Even Fiffin is annoyed at you. Seriously, mate. And then Skog says, Spino, please, I want to be on your side, but it's getting too much. What happened to your skepticism? Do we need to tell you to get out? And then someone says, the point is that going to the playground acts like a retard there is fucking stupid and cringe as well as creepy. It's not creepy. It's cringe, but it's not creepy. He's not doing it at the kids. He's doing it to us. The guy with the flag was doing it to the people at the meetup. Like, what? How can you believe this? But again, it's confirmation bias, isn't it? These people have a bias about shitlords and Kekistanis and people who like Sargon, anti-SJWs, and so if they can, they will spin anything and believe in anything that makes us look bad. I mean, just look at this. Where can I find it? Here, look. They're comparing the flag of Kekistan to the I think it was the Luftwaffe the naval flag, the Kriegsmarine flag. And it's like, duh, that's the point. It's meant to look like that. It's a parody of identity politics. The Nazis were identitarians. Duh, that's the point. It's a parody. He would have got this a year ago, and he's literally tweeting this unironically. People are saying this unironically. They're saying, oh look, it's like a Nazi flag. Clearly nothing to do with fascism when it's a parody of all that. This is why these people will lose the culture war. Well, but hey, it doesn't exist to David. As Garbage Telos then says, well, at least your Twitter handle is applicable to your content. Should start calling you CNN. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is something that we have to expect from these types of people. Like, of course they're going to spin. Of course they're going to lie. This is a war, isn't it? This is an ideological battle. And just anything that they can use, they will. They're not fighting fair. They're going to fight unfair. So, I guess just a normal meetup was going to be used. Can't anyone just have fun? Like, if Skeptic Plus or SJWs is the exact same thing, I don't think many people would really care from the opposite end. And by the way, I've been thinking about making a video on Skeptic Plus because I've been reading Saul Alinsky's The Rules for Radicals, and he mentions a type of people that is essentially what Skeptic Plus is. So once I've read it, I'll go through the quotes. I will discuss what these people are like, what these people are, and why they're useless in situations like this, and why they're detrimental. So anyway, hopefully that will come out in the future. So I'll see you all later then.